Yo, what's up, guys? This is Alex from. I was about to say this is Alex from Sound, but no, that's my website, alexromsound.com. This is Alex Rome, though, and today we're going to talk about how to make your sounds a little less boring than they are. Or, for that matter, just how to make your sounds less boring. And the key to doing that, like I always teach people, this is something I teach people a lot when I'm coaching people one-on-one, is making your sounds less boring is the same idea as making your song less boring, which is the same idea as like making a snare less boring, which is the same idea as making a vocal mix less boring, which is the same idea as making a mix less boring. It's like when you listen to a song by your favorite artist, let's just say Medicine or Julu, two really talented group of artists. No sound in either of those songs, or in either of their songs, are ever half-assed and ever just thrown out there and like put on the board and then they call it a day. All of their sounds are very, very like viciously engineered to sound really, really good and different and unique. That's why they're such, hot players in the game right now. It's because they have these really, really unique sounds that's really difficult to get to. And it's really difficult to sound like. So what I always teach people to do is stopping at a sound. When you're going through thousands of presets to find the best sounding preset for a lead or a bass or a chord or something, don't throw it in there and then call it a day. Throw it in there and then spend another couple hours making that sound like something you've never heard before. Because a preset is just a preset. It's a preset available to you to sound cool. But it's also available to everybody, and that's what makes things mainstream and generic, when something's available to everybody. There's nothing wrong with using presets. They're great for inspiration, and you can even layer them to get a unique sound. But that's like part of that step going farther into things. So if you lay down a lead line, how much can you layer it to get a unique sound? How much can you EQ it, add this, that, and the other to get a different sound? So what I'm going to be demonstrating for you guys today is this little bass line here that started out as a boring bass line that I actually tweaked around just a little bit to make it sound that much more unique and sound like I actually cared about the bass. When you're a producer, you have to care about every single layer like it's the only layer in the song. That's the biggest word of advice you will get from me. By the way, I have a course available at courses.alexromsound.com. Figured I'd throw it out there. I suck at plugging, dude. It's not smooth. I get it. It's not smooth. I'll be like explaining something dope and I'll be like, oh yeah, like courses.alexromsound.com. Anyway, let's get back to this. The course is dope, by the way. Anyway, so this bass line started out as just like this boring bass line, it's pure sub, it went well, the notes fit. I was like, what can I do to this to just take it that much farther? Because every layer in this track, I took it that much farther. And I concentrate on every single layer like it was its own thing and its own song without all the other layers. And if you do that, I promise you, your songs are going to sound better. So let's play this little snippet here, and then I'm going to get to talking about the sound design. That bass line actually started out as an 808. This is one of my favorite projects of all time. I just love this project so much. Every time I work in it, every time I listen to this song, it's just so crazy, man. So let's listen to this bass line without the effect. Oh yeah, get on good headphones, because if you have shitty headphones, I really can't help you. You're going against the game. You're going against the grain here. If you have headphones that can't hear sub bass, that is shitty headphones, actually you'll be able to hear this. So I turned up the distortion in case anybody's a rebel and doesn't have headphones that can hear sub bass, or they're listening out of a phone or laptop speaker. So now you can all hear this. But anyway, I just played it. It was kind of boring. It's just flat. It's just big old bass. Just, you know, sounds like that. It's pure sine wave, like so. But I wanted to add a little bit of salt and pepper to it, because that to me was just fucking boring. And it was just flat, and it really didn't excite me enough. I like to get excited. So what I did is I added Shaperbox. And that's a wave shaper tool. It's very similar to Nicky Romero's Kickstart, although it does go a lot farther into the idea. And it's very similar to LFO tool, which is actually a closer idea of what Shaperbox is. Because LFO tool, you have more of a advantage comes to my, the word advantage comes to my mind. You have more of a, like it does more things, right? So watch this. Now when I play this, it doesn't do anything. I wonder what the hell the problem is. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn it on. Let me turn it on. Oh man. This is just it's not going smooth, huh? Hear that? So every time this peak climbs here, this automation peak climbs, the bass starts wobbling. And that little thing, because the bass is so big and prominent in this mix here, as well as tons of other electronic songs across the board, that little change comes out a lot. Like you can hear that in the entire mix. I'm not going to play it in the entire mix right now because I do have distortion on, but little things just like making those wobbles toward the end of each note. So the note would go, and toward the end of a note would wobble like that. That's what makes this bass unique. So imagine adding little tweaks like that to every single layer across the board. You're going to get a really unique sound that nobody's ever heard before. So how did I do that? Well, it kind of works like this. This is the sidechain that I have here, or I call it a sidechain, but it's just like a wobble or an LFO. Same concept is if you took Nicky Romero's Kickstart and looked at this. I'm automating this mix knob, only I'm doing it in Shaperbox. So at the beginning of the note, my mix would look like this, and my sidechain would look like this. But as we increase the automation, or the mix, closer to 100%, this starts to become engaged. And I used to hear Virtual Riot do this in a lot of his songs. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking this signal here, this sidechain signal or ducking signal, and as the note goes on, I'm automating this. So this was bugging out earlier, but let's see if it'll work. We can actually watch this knob in real time as the marker travels closer to the note. See that? It'll just start turning just like that. Oh yeah, we gotta turn off Kickstart. Just like that. And you can literally do that to anything. You can do that to vocals, pads, leads, just to automate the end of the note to do something crazy, like add a lot of reverb to the end of a note. I've done that before. Sounds insane. Morph the note toward the end of the note, like start off with a pluck sound end the note with like a vocal reverb, that's unique. Like, that's crazy. So little things like that, add it to all your layers, and then come back here and tell me you didn't try it and go crazy, because the difference in your tracks will literally go from boring to insane. And take that extra time, take that extra step to go into each individual layer of your song and make it better than what it is, and spend a lot of time and effort doing that. Take the drums and make them sound like amazing on their own. Take the bass and make it sound perfect on its own. Take the lead and make it sound perfect on its own. Because if you do that, combine them all together, now you have a unique sound, completely untouchable, and even the hottest guys in the game would listen to your song and say, this guy knows what he's doing. So there you go, guys. If you took any value from this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications, and leave your comments, thoughts, everything in the comment section, good or bad. I would love to respond to as many of them as I can. And check out my website, alexfromsound.com, where I got my courses, my dope sample packs, and my lessons. Peace out, guys.